All right, let's try to make this video a different way. So when we think about digital ID, I think it could really go one of two ways. One of them is going to be controlled by a centralized databank that knows everything about you and can basically just turn off your whole digital existence with a switch. Your data sits in a big giant vault. It gets copied and shared and breached and sold. You're locked into whoever issues your identity, and you just have to hope they don't change the rules for you or the people you care about. The other future for digital identity is different, and this is the one that I want to try to offer for people. In this alternative world, you hold your own identity on your own device, and you only share what's needed with whoever you're dealing with, whether it's face-to-face, in person, or whether it's online. No central gatekeeper. Just a very simple and portable protocol that everybody can use for any app in order to ask and verify people's information. And that's the approach that we're trying to build within BSV and Project Babbage. Let's break this down and talk about these big ideas in simple terms. On BSV, you have two kinds of keys. Think of two key rings. One of these is your identity key. It's pretty stable. It's for who you are, logging in, signing your name, and letting people find your public profile if you want that. The other key ring is for payments. These keys change for every different payment you make and every interaction. They're kind of one-off, and they're used to move money. So keeping these things separate protects your privacy and your security. When you deal with digital assets, when you buy and sell something, you're not linking everything back to that one key that controls your digital signature. Now, how might people then go about trusting you without using a central database controlled by the government? With simple digital certificates, we can offer a solution here. They're kind of like signed notes from different people. Some of these notes you could sign yourself. This is my name, or here is my preferred contact email address. That's your starting point. And some of the other notes could come from people who know you, friends, colleagues, partners who vouch for you. And some of them might come from institutions such as a university, a licensing board, or an employer. When they sign a note for you, anyone can check the signature and see it's real without calling up a central server or asking the government. Different situations need different levels of proof. If you're just joining a casual forum, a self-signed note with your name might be all you need. If you're opening a financial account, you might need to present some kind of institutional credential. Maybe that one does come from the government, but you always get to choose who signs the notes that you reveal to others, and you always get to reveal basically only what you choose. You don't have to deal with people when they're demanding more information than what you want to provide. When you're networking with peers, maybe a handful of endorsements from close friends is all that's required. So the apps that you use get to decide the bar for their experiences, and you get to decide what to share. Privacy is built into this approach. You can prove a fact without oversharing. For example, you can say, I'm over 21 without revealing your birthday. I have a degree without exposing your entire transcript. And you can show more over time as trust grows. You can also revoke access later so that third parties no longer get to maintain a copy of your personal information. We've standardized that. This isn't about tracking people. It's about letting people prove what's needed and when it's needed with math and cryptography and clear protocols and standards instead of relying on blind trust. It also works peer-to-peer. What does that mean? Well, in this case, you don't need to see any of the raw addresses or rely on all of the low-level things. We have made this simple for the average person. You connect directly with the other party, you authenticate each other, and then you move on. It's fast, it's simple, and it's verifiable. Most importantly, this approach is designed to be interoperable. It plays well with self-sovereign identity principles, aligns with global assurance frameworks, and follows privacy by design ideas you already know. You have a minimal amount of data that you reveal only when necessary to only the people that need it, with a clear purpose, user consent, and secure key management built in. So here's the bottom line. Centralized data bank identity means one switch can control your life. Your data sits in a honeypot, and you're stuck with whatever rules they set. The MetaNet identity means you hold your keys. You share less and not more. Your claims are provable across apps, and anyone can verify them without calling the government. No lock-in, no single point of failure, just simple, user-controlled proofs. Digital ID doesn't have to be dystopian. It can be human. It can be private. It can be practical. So let's work on the version that puts people first. User-controlled identity, verifiable certificates, selective disclosure, and peer-to-peer by default. If we work on that version, hopefully it gets adopted, and hopefully people use it. And if we don't, my fear is that other people who don't care as much about this stuff are going to throw one of these big centralized platforms into a piece of legislation and make it a law of the land for millions or billions of people on Earth. I wouldn't want to see things go that way with digital ID. I'd like to see it get built openly, and I'm here to support protocols that put people, rather than the government, at the center of this equation.